welcome to A Taste of the Beach, podcast that focuses on talking with pioneers in the area of dine, shop, play, and stay along the coast. I publish Beach Cities magazine, and with me is my co-host Rod Gontis of Gontis and Associates. Rod, great to see you.
You too, Dan.
And Rod focuses on interior and exterior design, commercial, residential, and we're very excited today to be with Terry Antonelli, the proprietor of this amazing restaurant, Lopra Restaurant, on the corner of Pine and First in downtown Long Beach, celebrating their 35th anniversary. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
So this
Great to be here.
Yeah, a special occasion to showcase restaurants, especially that have this kind of longevity. And I really kind of want to start at the beginning. I've had the pleasure of knowing you for probably nearly 15 years. When I launched my magazine back in 2013, we had a premiere issue party in this restaurant downstairs. Just getting sappy for a moment. A lot of important events in our family's life, as you know, have taken place in this restaurant.
Absolutely.
Our daughter's wedding shower. I'll probably repeat this when Walter, the chef, comes over, but having two of my granddaughters cook with him in the kitchen and serve us one evening. When my first wife passed away, and we needed to go out and as a family and dine, to come in here and feel the warmth of your staff. We'll talk about your amazing staff. This is, in what I do, it's all about relationships and family. And there is absolutely no place that I do business with that feels more like family than Lopra.
Well, thank you very much.
So let's dive in. I know you're a New Yorker. The Yankees are usually on when I'm here. But tell us how it all started. What were you doing in New York and how you got here and all that?
Well, I came out here as a young boy, 13 years old, and then I went back and forth. And I had a house in New York for many years after I moved out here, and I began this restaurant. We had the place in Orange County, Antonello's, with my ex-partner, and I had a real estate lady come to me that lived by me. I just moved here from Malibu, and she came in and said, "Boy, if you guys could ever do something like Antonello in Long Beach, it's the 33rd largest city in the United States, and there's no fine dining here." I think at that time, the 555 was here, obviously, and then there was a place on this street called Mum's that John Morris had. And so we looked around, and she found this building, and I fell in love with the building. The building, it looked like a bomb shelter. There was no floors. There was no glass. The staircase wasn't there. It just, they were retrofitting it to get it to a stage where they could lease it. Mm-hmm. The gentleman that owned it at the time was Larry Agajanian. And this was in 1988. So almost out of the gate, I loved it. And I talked to Antonio, and we put a little group together, and we took the building. It took us about 2 years, 88, to build it, because we had to get involved with the retrofitting as well.
Right.
We invested about $2.2 million in construction at that time, which is nothing in today's terms, but back in 1988, it was a significant amount of money.
Absolutely.
And we dealt with a company called Hatch Brothers, a design company called Hatch Brothers in Orange County. and they loved the space, and we went for it. And Larry Agajanian and I put together a lease, 20-year lease, and he was very, very attracted to our project and was very flexible with the terms. So we took us, like I say, 2 years to build it. And then in April 19th of 2000, or 1999, actually, 1990, excuse me. In 1990, we opened April 19th during Grand Prix weekend. And I remembered I was downstairs because we were running behind and we had the Grand Prix crowd here. I remembered at the time that I was mopping floors downstairs and I heard the first ice cube hit the glass upstairs, first customer, and I said, wow, we're going to stop the bleeding here shortly, you know. For that 2 years plus in building, I built restaurants before, it never took 2 years. So it was a wonderful, wonderful time. And we're now celebrating our 35th year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's, as you were talking about the familia, the family, it's our family. It's my family. I don't have partners anymore. We used to have several restaurants, and I don't have any interest in any of the other restaurants any longer. And I just have this place, and I live very close by now. I live in Rancho Palos Verdes. It takes me 15, 20 minutes, depending on if the bridge is open or closed. And I just love it. I love the place. We have 48 employees. And if you can believe this, the average tenure of those 48 employees is 24 years.
That says a lot, Terry.
24 years.
That speaks volumes.
Kind of unheard of.
Yes, but it speaks volumes to the to the familia on that side of things, right?
You know, now, and people, when they find out that we have employees that have been here forever, many of which have been here 35 years, right, started as busboys and now are servers or bartenders.
And
managers. And the young lady that's the hostess and a manager right now was 8 years old at the time. And she came in and took pictures during Valentine's Day and Mother's Day and the special occasion days. And she was taking pictures for people. And she is the younger sister of Nicole, who is our general manager. And Nicole started out as a server, and she now is the general manager. And she is, if you know the movie Ozark, she's my Ruth. She's my Ruth from Ozark. I kid her.
That's a good reference.
I kid her all the time, and she gets, embarrassed, but she's my Ruth. So it's a familia. And when we went through the peaceful protests of 2020 were completely destroyed, I had reservations of rebuilding because we were completely destroyed. And we spent another $2 million after I sat down with Chef Walter and the GM, Nicole. We said, listen, we'll build it bigger and better than ever. And I looked at the fact that we had 48 wonderful people that work for us, that we have to do it. And we did, and we reopened the restaurant in May 24th of 2021. We were closed for 15 months. And what you see is the new remodel.
Yeah.
The
restaurant was beautiful before, but you made enhancements, I feel, just to make it warmer. And I know there's a lot more to it than that because, you were cleaned out. And
it was a project that, is when you as a designer, when you knock a wall out and you see what's on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, all the surprises.
And when we started to take the kitchen apart and you see all the flooring, I had to pull the entire floor out of the kitchen.
Yep.
We had joists in the flooring of the kitchen that did not attach properly, with their connecting points. So it needed a remodel.
Yeah.
And the kitchen, we built a brand new kitchen, all new equipment. We didn't go to any of the used places to get.
Which some people,
You know?
sometimes people do that when they're setting up a restaurant from a cost perspective.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
Absolutely. And we were fortunate enough to have good insurance and fortunate enough to have the revitalization money from the federal government.
Yeah.
And all in all, out of pocket, I only had to come out with a small amount in a small percentage of the overall construction and furnishings FF&E costs.
So, Terry, let me ask you something. A lot of times when a restaurant has been around for a long time, like you, and they go through a remodel, and it's not usually maybe triggered by such a, it's sort of a tragic situation, right? That kind of forces the hands. Sometimes they take away the spirit that made the restaurant actually magical, because sometimes that magic isn't necessarily in the elements that are in the restaurant. I mean, it's a lot of it is about the staff, that sort of the ambassadors to what the restaurant stands for beyond just the trappings of furniture, right? So when you found yourself in that situation where you had like this legacy already, right? How did you approach the redesign? Was that part of the thinking, like you were trying to maintain some of that while refreshing? Did any of that kind of factor in how you went about it?
Well, I think it's a historic monument in Long Beach. So there's not...
The building.
The building is. The building circa is 1906. And they don't let you do anything outside. Inside, the kitchen is where the kitchen is, because it's the hooding goes up 6 floors. In the back, there's a back alley. So the kitchen had to stay where the kitchen is. The bar had to stay where the bar is. We changed all the seating. We changed the columns. We changed all the marble. We used to be a black granite, and now we try to lighten everything up. Mm-hmm. We put curtains in to give us more intimacy, more elegance, and just went from there. We had the basic bones of the restaurant, and we just enhanced the interiors more than knocking walls down and redoing.
You kind of built on what you already kind of had in terms of the spirit of the place, and then you basically just kind of refreshed it without losing that. And I'm just saying that sometimes it's sad because I'll walk into a place that I have that affinity with, and they've gone through a remodel because a sense of needing to refresh, and in the course of doing that, they lose sort of some of that magic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The things that I noticed in particular was the new mural. Mm-hmm. Okay, there was a different mural up here, and any of our audience can see a resemblance between this gentleman and someone in the mural behind us. It's no coincidence. But this is one of the most beautiful restaurants anywhere in the area, in SoCal. I want to get back to a question that probably will make you look really good, but it's for a reason. It is your longevity, okay? And again, I really feel like it's extraordinary. It's one of the things I tell people all the time, beside great food, that, and what Rod alludes to, right, is going into a place and feeling like, that Cheers mentality, right, where everybody knows you. And I know I get that here from the valet all the way on through. What do you attribute this longevity to?
It's the familia, pretty much. The employees, when we were closed for those 15 months, we tried to get as many of the employees hired by other restaurants that we knew that were friendly, and a lot of them had takeout. And most of the employees, they got jobs. Mm-hmm. I had enough. I could keep my general manager, my chef, and a couple key people on payroll during this time with insurance. But basically, we had, I told each and every one that we got the job, so if you find a job and we open and you can't return, I understand that, but your job is going to be available to you. And without one exception, all the employees came back. So when you talk about that family, that's, and the devil's in the details in this business. You have to watch every little thing, and we have so many people that are involved, and so many people that are dedicated to the restaurant, that you have a lot of people looking at the little things, and so nothing becomes a big thing. And we make all our own bread, all our own pastas. We have a meat, poultry, and fish company, and we bring our own ingredients in. We deal with a poultry place and a meat place in the Midwest. It's just a wonderful time to come to work. Everybody rolls their sleeves up, and even if the bartender, they don't particularly like to take the wines and things downstairs and haul them up and down. Everybody pitches in to help each other, and it's teamwork, and and they're the same way with all the guests. They become friends with the guests. We have guests that I have one example where the gentleman and his wife, he's a doctor, and he had a 6-year-old son that always came in with a bow tie, and he loved the restaurant. So he came in for every birthday and every New Year's and everything with the doctor and his wife. And he now is an attorney with 2 kids, and they come in for those same events. So it's something that we pride ourselves in, and satisfaction of the guest, good value, quality food, and the guest must leave here happy. And certainly things happen now and then where a guest might say that, well, my food was cold or whatever. They don't leave here with that feeling. We prepare another dish for them. And it's the guest is always on top and primary to our our general effort in the restaurant.
Well, we may have gotten slightly ahead of ourselves in that there actually may be a couple of people who watch us who is unfamiliar with Lopra, and maybe we like that because we can urge them to come. So, what is your elevator speech when people ask you? So, I'm sorry, I haven't been to your place. Tell me about Lopra.
Why not? I get that.
This is where I get scared because of Terry's New York Italian background.
I just say, we've had a lot of wonderful press. We've won a lot of awards, Golden Scepter Award, the Wine Spectator Awards for our wine list. And a lot of those things speak for itself. And Nicole handles all the social media, and with Maddie and with Tiffany, who is our banquet manager. And I'm old school. I'm not much into social media. They handle everything. I'm on the board of directors of the Convention and Visitors Bureau for 25 years. So I have great connections there, and I see what's coming in the city before anyone else does. So we're pretty much ready for the convention business, and we always have a greeting sign out, and they support us very, very, very well. So I would just say that if you want a value, great product, great service, and wonderful ambiance, this is the place to come to. Not just on birthdays or special occasions, but, come in for the date night.
Right?
Yeah.
Come in for, come and sit at the bar. We have a wonderful appetizer or wonderful happy hour. And our bar is full almost every night during the happy hour. This is our slow season, the summer. Convention business is down considerably, but we always see new people. And my goal when I'm here in the evening is to find that 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people that have never been here before, and sit next to them and talk to them.
Yeah.
Become acquainted with them. Where you guys live? What are you doing in Long Beach? How do you like Long Beach? And then you get into conversations, and then the next time you remember their name, and they sit down and say, "Oh, I remember meeting you a month ago or something." So it's wonderful. It's a wonderful experience. If you don't have passion and you don't have that strong feeling about what your place is all about, then you should do something else.
Sure.
You know,
You shouldn't be in hospital. I mean, what you're describing is really that cornerstone DNA of what hospitality is.
that's what it is.
Right. And if you don't have that in your blood, the passion they have, if you actually are tolerant of people, but you don't actually like people, and there are people that are just kind of ambivalent about people, right? But, one of the best things that anybody ever said to me is like, you actually really like people. And I'm like, well, yes. Why? I mean, that's part of life. That's part of the joy. And if you have that, then you're in this business. And we all know people that start things like that are, call it front-facing, people-centric, right? But that's not part of them. And if you're not, find somebody at least that is that as a representation.
Absolutely.
Now, in your case, what you're describing, Terry, is every single member of your staff, and I'm using the word staff doesn't really echo correctly.
Your family.
Every one of your family members, right? And the loyalty that you just talked about, like actually not just basically keeping them on due COVID, because things happen, like bad things happen, challenges happen, come out of left field, like, those are just part of life.
This is an industry where that happens.
And margins in this industry are notoriously tight, right? I mean, we all know that. But to inspire that loyalty and to have every one of those family members be vested in what that experience is for that guest, that's inspired leadership. I mean, that you don't get that just by walking in and saying, hey, we're here to do a job. That's an actual expression of passion. And the bottom line is that's what leads to return business. I mean, that's why people are coming in and celebrating all kinds of things.
It's I've always been
Go ahead. Sorry.
I've always been told that when they find out that the people have been here as long as they've been here, why? It's all about you. And I said, no, it's not all about me. It's about us. And they don't work for me, they work with me. And when you instill into your staff that they are as important, no matter if they're a busboy, a server, kitchen, pantry, bartender, they all have an intricate part of what we do here. The ultimate result is based on everybody. It's a team effort. And they are as important, the busboy is as important as anyone in the kitchen. And they realize that. And they're valuable. So I don't treat them as employees. I treat them as valuable assets to the success of the business.
It's funny. We were talking again, kind of like that leadership that you're exemplifying. It's notorious sometimes with restaurants that they say, especially if it's chef-centric restaurants, that it's almost like a command and control, top-down kind of yes, chef to everything kind of approach. There is what you're describing is more of a trust and inspire leadership that basically echoes like ripples throughout the whole thing. And it's not only smart business, but it's sort of human centric that you're treating everybody with that same level of dignity and respect. And it comes back in spades.
It does. It respects to and from. And, we've had issues with employees before, and you try to work the issue out rather than blatantly say, well, you're done here. I don't like that end result is without congeniality,
Sure.
Yeah.
And we communicate, and Nicole's a great communicator, and Walter's a great communicator. So it's he runs the kitchen, she runs the operational staff, and we all put things together. When we do our menus, we sit down with the three of us, and we do the new items on the menu. And I have chef tendencies, and I come up with a lot of different dishes. We'll sit down and we sit down at a table like this, and we do a tasting, and we start adding things on in what we feel. We came up after the pandemic. It came up with some crudo items, fish crudo items, that we thought would be a very attractive addition to the menu that brings the younger generations in that love the sushi. And they go so well that we continue to look at those items. We have an item on the menu right now in our specials that's a tuna crudo, and it's sushi grade tuna with this wonderful sauce, a little bit of avocado and a spicy soy sauce. I probably have that 5 nights a week.
One of the items that you had at one point, my wife is vegetarian, and you had a vegetarian carpaccio on the menu that was just phenomenal. It was beautiful. It looked like regular carpaccio, but not a piece of meat on there, and made her day. I'm curious. I don't know, Terry, the story. We're going to get Chef Walter here, and we mentioned Nicole. I know she's on medical leave. We would have loved to have her join us, and I know Chef Walter will be here in a moment. What was the inkling for you to get involved in restaurants in the first place? Was there history in your family doing that? Obviously, you're Italian. You opened an Italian restaurant, and Antonello's an Italian restaurant. But what's your background to get involved in this business?
Antonello's was my partner's restaurant, and we were going to open it together. And we were in Italy together, and when it was getting ready to open in 1979, he was in Orange County and I was in LA County, and we decided that I would use my financial statement help if I needed to, but then we would find a place that we could do together, because he had another partner that basically wanted to do things a certain way, and it wasn't really in my wheelhouse and the way they wanted to do it. I've been working in the food business my whole life. I learned in Brooklyn in prepping foods and things in my grandparents' place, and I had a little trattoria, just a little hole in the wall. And I always loved the food business and the hospitality industry. I was in the trucking business for many years, and the trucking business was the installation of kitchen FF&E and kitchen equipment. And it just was a natural progression. I always wanted to do something that I could be creative in. And we opened this, and then we opened several other restaurants. We did the restaurants for Giorgio Armani. We did 3 of those, and we had 2 in Boston. We had some Lopra cafes in Florida.
Fun one across the street.
He used to own the Madison across the street, which is a magnificent place from a design standpoint.
Right.
36-foot ceilings.
Home savings.
Yeah.
I had a guess.
And we opened next door, which was Alegria. Sold everything in the mid 2014-15. And from that point on, I had Lopra, and it's been my baby, and love coming to work. Love to come to work.
Well, it's beautiful, and anybody who hasn't tried, why haven't you? What'd you say? Why
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Why not? So definitely check it out. There's not a lot of places that have this longevity and this legacy and consistency, but at the same time, the innovation, like you were talking about with the menu development. Like there's your ears to the ground, you're listening, you're trying different things, which is critical as far as sustainability of a place.
Well, I think we're going to take just a short break. Chef Walter Cotta will be and how long has Chef been with you?
35 years.
From the beginning.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Taste of the Beach. We're at beautiful Lopra Restaurant. Owner Terry Antonelli, my co-host Rod Gonfus, and Scott Fisher. I just call him Scotty. I'm not even sure I knew his last name for years, but this is family here, and coming to this restaurant for a long time. And if you want the best service, you'll get it in any restaurant anywhere. And you want an amazing wine recommendation, Scotty's your guy. So welcome
Thank
to the
you.
show.
Thank you very much.
It is a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure to be here.
You're the only person that I really want to have serve us, not because there's not everybody else is great, just because we know each other and we're friends. So tell us a little bit about the wine business here at Lopra.
So we're fortunate enough to have a lovely large list. We've got 450 to 500 bottles on the list. As the somm and the person procuring the list, I have a ridiculous amount of freedom, probably too much. You might want to think about that. So I've been able to put on the things that you would recognize, and then the things that you don't, but that really should be on there because they're absolutely lovely. And that allows us to have a very broad palette to be served on the menu. So if you come in and want something, whether it be something at a $50 bottle of wine or a $5,000 bottle of wine, I have the ability to accommodate you. And that's something quite joyful, quite fun.
Well, I know you love it. I love not choosing and letting you choose, because you always look and see what we're dining on and you know my palate now. I'm never disappointed. Can you talk about, well, unless it's a secret, can you talk about like where your wine is located and how different that is compared to a lot of other?
So this is an old bank building built at the turn of the last century. And so across the street was a bank as well. And there was a tunnel between the two banks where they would shuttle cash if needed to be. Well, when they stopped being a bank, they walled it off. It's a perfect space for wine. And it's perfect space for somebody who's about 5'6" to work in the wine cellar as well.
I bumped my head a couple times.
I probably once a month I give myself a good crack in, and that's about it. But it goes under the restaurant and under Main Street. Goes out, and my wine is stored there, and it's a lovely place to have it. It's kind of fun to take a look at.
Yeah, it is. Great place to take a tour. Well, which reminds me, let's talk a little bit about downstairs. Okay, this is where most people congregate for regular dinners, but let's talk about events. We have wine dinners coming up. This place is always hopping. Give us an idea of what's coming up.
So we normally have wine dinners once about every 6 weeks, depending. Sometimes we take a little break. Right now we're just ramping up again, and in August 15th, which is a Friday evening, we're going to have a wine dinner that is featuring Rombauer wines. Everybody knows Rombauer Chardonnay, but Rombauer makes other things. They're really, really lovely. They're Cab, they're Zin, they're Sauvignon Blanc. And so Chef Walter and myself tend to sit down and do a tasting at the same time after the wines have been chosen and have a little chat that says, well, I think maybe you want to think about mangoes and raw fish and so on. And then we'll bounce it back and forth. And by any generality I put out there, he makes magic out of it, which is fabulous to work with him. I've worked with him forever, and that's what I enjoy working with him.
Yeah, I just want to say to the audience, if I'm not traveling, I'm at these wine dinners. They're great. They're great value. The winemakers, the owners, when they're available, come in, talk. It's fun. It's informative. It's a great date night. It's a great couples experience. You can get a whole table and take over, and been enjoying them for years. You do a great job.
Thank you,
Scotty.
How do people find out about them, Scotty? Are they listed on your website?
Thanks. It's listed on the website and put out on social media.
Yeah.
We are the social media age, and so it
Yeah.
has to be out there.
Yeah.
We also have an email list. Something as simple as that, where you do an email blast to everybody, and people come or people just are connected to the restaurant, and they get to know. And then there's something as simple as a poster in front of the restaurant, and then of course there's word of mouth,
Right.
which is how we've never been a real advertising restaurant, because I think that the restaurant kind of speaks for itself,
Right.
and it has worked over the years without this necessity of it. So that tends to be how and why.
There's a lot to be said these days with all that noise out there of basically equating luxury with scarcity, like basically being in the know a little bit, but putting yourself out there and not really just getting lost in the noise of everybody.
Yeah, but that's kind of what it's become, isn't it?
Yeah.
And kind of where
Yeah.
it's bombarded, and it's nice to be.
You get to
somebody
choose.
going, hey,
Yeah.
have you ever been to Lopra?
Exactly.
Well, we're going next Tuesday, and we're gonna sit down and have we're gonna go to the bar and have an appetizer.
Right.
There's something lovely about that.
Right.
And to escort your close friends and family to places that are meaningful to you, and know that it's gonna stand on its own right, that you have no worry whatsoever that anyone is going to be disappointed. Those are places that are special in our lives. And,
Yeah.
and I've experienced that. I know Chef Walter Cota, who's been here from the very beginning, and we would love to talk with him, but he's busy. The restaurant's open. Scotty, do the honors. And these I know are a couple of his favorites that he wanted to bring over. We just want to showcase.
So we have a little pasta and we have a little fish. For the pasta, we've got a spaghetti frutti di mare, spaghetti frutti di sea. This one, you have a choice of either white wine and garlic, or this is served with spicy tomato sauce, and it's served with clams, mussels, shrimp, and then finished with a piece of whitefish.
Would you say, is that similar to like a bouillabaisse or
Like a cioppino. Well, different. Cioppino's more of a stew, no pasta in cioppino.
Right.
Cioppino's a fish stew, which could be made, but this is, again, a pasta dish. But it has the same idea, if you're thinking about that. We have here salmone dorato, so a fillet of sustainably raised salmon over fingerling potatoes, finished with a sauce made with apple cider vinegar and whole grain mustard with leeks and fennel. Absolutely lovely dish if you like that. And if you're
it's so close yet so far away.
so as somebody who's always thinking about wine and how if you're going to be having that salmon, you're going to want to have if you want a glass like a Bonfils Chardonnay. So we have a richer unoaked Chardonnay that'll just sort of go with that fattier fish. That's always are going to that.
What would you pair the
Frutti di mare?
the frutti di mare? Yeah.
The spicy tomato sauce with this. Even though it's fish, we're going to add a red. We're going to put a thinner skin variety. So we're going to do a Chianti Classico. I got it from a vineyard called Felsina. It's from an area called Berenenga, which is the very southern part of the classical region of Chianti. And the earthiness and the red fruits will go with that, again, spicy tomato sauce and the acids that come when it's made.
If you missed Scotty's introduction where he said, I'm a Somm, he's a Somm, all right? He knows what he's talking about. So take his recommendations. I can't wait any longer, and I know you have to go.
Let me pass some plates.
Okay, but that's not what I'm talking about. You can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, but I need to do something else. So,
You know who's hungry on the table.
Well, no, I saw him salivating over there. So
unbeknownst to you, and this is what makes this extra special. And I love surprises. I will travel to make surprises in my family.
Terry's looking worried.
I know. Okay, so I had a little sit down with Nicole when you were not here, and we made a little agreement. So, I rebranded my magazine. It's now Beach Cities Magazine.
I do.
This is the premiere issue. And look who's on the cover.
Wow. 35 years.
And look who's on the back cover.
I'm flabbergasted. After all these years, we finally got on the cover. Finally got on. How long have you been here now, Scotty?
30 years, man. It's been 30
Scotty's
years.
been here 30 years, and we've never been on the cover.
I thought this was going to be like a really happy thing for me.
turned into a Dan Rose.
And the center article, which, by the way, is like an interview between you and me that I did with Nicole.
Timely Christmas. That's beautiful.
And look who's here. She told me I couldn't do it
Without my puppies,
without your puppies.
Frankie and Vinny, my pugs.
This amazing photo of you from years past. Chef Walter, the iconic front door.
This breaks my heart
Wait,
that I finally got on the cover.
there's
You're
more.
there, man. You're there.
There's more. So as you know, we always do the boards with your new ad. So we have the back cover, the front cover, and the art
Beautiful.
that you can put up.
I'm very impressed.
And this is not over. One more.
One more.
And this is just personal media.
Wow.
There you go.
Man, I'm lost for words. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That'll go right on the wall in there with our Hall of Fame. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
My
Friendship,
pleasure. My
like I say, this is what this restaurant is all about.
Just for you.
Is this friendship?
And lastly, and we'll close with this. As you know, February 6th, 2013, I had my premiere issue party downstairs in this restaurant, kicking off my business. And here we are, celebrating a new brand, a new look and feel, and I'm having my rebranding party downstairs August 25th.
Beautiful.
Outstanding.
Beautiful. Did we know about that before?
Nicole knows.
Nicole knew. My Ruth.
You're right.
She knows.
She knows. So we'll be in the planning stages of getting that, together here in the next
Wonderful.
few weeks and so forth, and getting the word out. Save the date, August 25th. Everybody's welcome to
That's
come
Lopra
see
in Long Beach.
the new version of Beach Cities magazine, where we promote the best places to dine, shop, and play, especially Lopra Restaurant here in downtown Long Beach.
Well, thank you so much. I like I say, I'm lost for words. This is a wonderful experience from a great friend and a new friend, and what do I call you now?
Scotty.
An old friend.
An old friend.
Whatever you say.
Old friend.
Consigliere.
His daughters were here the other night. I hadn't seen them in years. He's raised his daughters. They used to be little teeny things, and now they're grown women. One lives in France. The other one lives in Tennessee. It's just beautiful. And that's what it's all about. We've grown from 1988, 1990 to what we are today because of Scott, Nicole, Walter, and all of our staff. I'm just so happy to be part of it.
Well, we're happy that you persevered, especially a few years ago with what happened, that you saw it through and you had people that you wanted to take care of. And, here we are celebrating. So
Wonderful.
thank you.
Challenges in life happen,
Yeah.
They
but it's
do.
all about family.
It is. It is. So come and visit us and have a wonderful dinner. It's farm to table. We make all our own breads, pastas, everything's fresh. We don't prep anything for day. We do it that day. We make the pastas in the early morning, 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and the breads. Everything is fresh. So come by and have the Lopra experience and meet some of the wonderful people that we have working here, our staff. That their average tenure, as I said before, is 24 years. So we look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Anything else that I can say?
Yeah.
Appreciate you. We'll see you at the next
you.
episode of
That was
Taste of the
great.
Beach.
Taste of the Beach.